guys, Magic Man here, and today I'm actually bringing you a tier 9 game that I had recently in my Belfast. I usually play the Belfast about once a day just to try and get a daily win in it with my British cruiser captain, just for the heck of it. And I'm actually playing a game of domination here, and there are a ton of cruisers. There's a double Fiji, and both of those guys are actually in a division up in front of me. And then we've got this Kiev here. Not quite sure what he was thinking, but he basically just rushed into this cap. I'm gonna dodge the first torpedo volley, but the second one, that torpedo right there, just unfortunately lined up straight on with my nose. So he does get a torpedo on me, but that's all right. I've got my hydro up, and I am currently fine in my smoke, and that guy almost got away, but the Belfast is a pay-to-win ship basically, so it has radar. So I was able to pinpoint his location and kill him with that last shot just before he was able to pull around the corner. And that is an unfortunate place to stop for this guy, because it's going to give me the ability to continue to pump AP into him. Both of these guys, yeah. I think it was a battleship. Yeah, the Azumo just destroyed that guy, and I'm still getting citadels on the guy that was sitting in front of him. So I'm going to continue to fire into this smoke screen. I could probably push up a little bit and spot these guys with hydro, but with my smoke screen going away in about 20 to 19 seconds, I don't feel like it's worth it, and he'll probably get spotted pretty soon anyways. Even if he does escape, he's going to be on such low health, it's not really going to matter. So I'm going to go ahead and back up around this island, try and keep myself from getting smacked too hard by anybody else that might have come up behind that smoke screen that I didn't get any visuals on. And even though there are a crap load of spotter planes up right now, I can just never be too sure. And there's that Fiji. I'm probably going to get rid of Navigator, to be honest with you. It doesn't really help me any. And I don't know. Overall, the mod is just nah. The one thing that has been helping me though, a mod that I've been trying out, was the direction lines on the mini-map. It gives me a pretty good idea of which way the enemy is turning and what they're doing. So, actually looking at this, and this guy's got his hydro up because I'm actually spotted by it right now. But I put myself in a position where nobody else can really shoot at me but this Fiji. And it looks like he's speeding up and coming around this corner. He probably wants to launch torpedoes, so I'm actually going to purposely ground myself here, because I don't want to take any torpedoes. And I should be seeing him any second now if he did launch him, which it looks like he didn't actually. Okay. So from the looks of it, he's probably going to retreat over to his friendly battleships over there. And I am actually going to take this opportunity to reposition myself basically. With the Nagato and the Bismarck coming in, I want to get around the corner of this island right here and be able to lay some fire down into these guys. Now, the one thing that I'm really worried about is the Nagato. With him being so close to this island that I'm behind right now, I'm not going to be able to shoot him until he's almost right on top of me. And with the way that the British ships accelerate, I'm hoping that if he does decide to come around this corner, that I'll just be able to accelerate along the side of this island very quickly and get around the back side of it and slip away. You know, I might take a shot or two, probably just one shot, if he does manage to get around this island. But there's just no way of knowing. Now, with my enemy battleship turning away and running, I am actually going to move in that particular direction myself. I I want to stay close to this guy, but not too far away. So I'm going to go ahead and smoke up here because I don't want to take a beating from these Bismarck secondaries. I'm pretty sure this guy's probably going to fire a shot or two at me. Yeah, and here comes the volley. Luckily it goes over me because he shot it after he lost the lock on me. Now Nagato is doing some funny business there. Not really quite sure what he's doing. It looks like he's almost come to a stop. Either that or he's just moving incredibly slowly. But either way, this Bismarck is actually a pretty prime target for some AP volleys. He's almost essentially broadside to me. So I'm actually going to take this opportunity to throw some AP in his direction. And yeah, we almost do 4,000 points of damage there. I'm keeping an eye on this Nagato in between each volley. Yeah, almost 3,000 there. So this stuff really adds up. Because I have Adrenaline Rush on my captain, my reload is not exactly 7.5 seconds anymore. So about every 7 seconds, I'm throwing out quite a bit of damage, which is really nice. And this Nagato is actually just about a little bit broadside to me as well. I'm trying to pump some of these shots into a superstructure. Oh man, I actually did 7,000 damage there to him, which was really nice. But since he's going to turn away, I'm going to switch my fire back to this Bismarck, and just about then, friendly Izumo just completely destroys him. And we're going to start throwing some HE at this Nagato. Lucky for me, he's not paying too much attention, otherwise he might see that there is a cruiser that just got detected very close to him. But unfortunately for him, it doesn't look like he's going to live much longer. Yeah, and those battleship shells right there are going to basically end his game. Now at this point, with the enemy in C, and it looks like they're flanking around to the south of the B cap, I'm actually going to head over to A. Or not the south of the B cap, but in my perspective, the north of the B cap. But I'm actually going to head over to A. I'm probably the fastest ship over here. I can get there fairly quickly. It looks like the friendly battleship is actually going to go there too. Knowing that though, I'm still going to head over here, because it looks like there was a destroyer that was last spotted over here by the A cap. Of course, who knows where he could be now. I think it was the Fletcher that was over here. I can't remember. I just remember when I was playing this game, I thought it was the Fletcher. So I actually decided to move over here to A cap since the battleship was going. I thought about turning away and going over to B, but I decided against it. I was like, if there is a destroyer still over here, gonna have to deal with them. But it's hard telling. I do turn on hydro, just for the heck of it. I was like, who knows? There might be some torpedoes flying this direction. American torpedoes are not especially fun to catch in the face, so it is what it is. And it looks like one of the battleships in the back there, that North Carolina, is saying that there's a destroyer back there, which probably makes sense because the last time this guy was spotted, it was very early in the game, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's worked his way all the way around to the back of the map. And yeah, it looks like the enemy Frederick de Grobe actually took out our carrier. And that was a heck of a shot, because that was a long-range shot, that's for sure. And that's when the enemy destroyer actually pops up on the map back there. I was actually, unfortunately, unable to see who it was. For some reason, the names on the mini-map are not displaying. I don't know if I turned it off or if it turns itself off after every patch, but I actually need to turn that option back on. And luckily for us, my team is just sinking people left and right. Unfortunately, they're getting sunk too. The Kaga is actually on the enemy team, and that aircraft carrier is a very good aircraft carrier. It is tough to deal with, to say the least. And there's a Fletcher right in front of me. This guy's going to be in for a little bit of surprise. I don't think he knows that I am here, and this is definitely going to hurt him whenever he figures out, oh crap, there's a Belfast right in front of me. I think at this point he realized his game was over, because he got slapped around 8 shells from me, and then the Scharnhorst hit him with some, and that was the end of his game. And should get some pretty good penetration damage here, but it looks like this Iowa's not interested in sticking around. Yeah, pretty good stuff there. The friendly battleship actually scrapes up against the back of my ship, but I did kind of do sort of a you know, kind of a bad thing in front of him. You know, I pretty much almost took up that whole gap by turning my ship sideways, so he didn't really have much of a choice. I mean, he's in a battleship, those things are huge. And we actually get the Confederate with that particular shot right there. And it looks like this game is basically over at this point. I don't think the enemy's going to be able to come back, and yeah, we're actually capping C, so the only thing that's left to do basically at this point is kill the last battleship, which is, yeah, right over there, and then find the carrier and take him out, which might actually be a tough thing to do. I'm not actually sure how fast the Kaga is. I have to imagine it's somewhere around 28 to 30 knots. And the Kaga's planes actually have a unique drop pattern. See, they have 3 wide torpedoes and then 3 closely grouped torpedoes. Problem is, its planes are really fragile, but man, if you can drop well in a carrier or the Kaga, you'll be able to carry games for your team, because that ship is so powerful. And that's just what I mean, like the shores there. I don't know if he has defensive AA or not, but he's actually took out, you know, 2 planes there, which isn't bad, because the shores doesn't have incredible. I mean, it doesn't have good AA, to say the least. And we're gonna get some AP shots in on this tier 9 battleship over here. And wow, there was a ton of shattered shells there. So apparently at 11 kilometers. The British AP does not like the superstructure of German battleships. So, I'm going to try and get in a little bit closer. I am turning the ship around here. I don't want to, like, basically charge into these ships. I've had a lot of bad things happen to me before. Charging down enemy battleships and then getting double citadeled through the deck. Because occasionally battleships do get lucky shots, so I'm basically gonna sit safely behind this island and shoot at this guy, because I have no desire to lose my ship. Even though the game is basically over, I really don't want to prolong it any longer by giving the enemy team the points from sinking my ship. And this is going pretty good so far. But the further he moves away from me, the harder it's going to be for me to hit this guy. Just because the British cruiser line does, I mean, the longer range you get, the loftier their shells get. As with most nations, but the British are especially pronounced. And yeah, it kind of reminds me of the American cruisers at longer ranges. It's kind of what it reminds me of. And once this guy gets killed, this game's going to be over. There's no doubt about that. This just goes to show you how tanky the dang Germans are. I mean, he's just been getting pelted with HE for quite a while now. And I'm actually out of range at this point, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so moving on to the results here. We actually ended up getting the Confederate and the First Blood award there. Threw out 236 target hits that game. Probably tossed out a lot more shells than that. I actually only sunk one ship, but started quite a bit of fires, defended some caps, and I ended up getting 2100 basically base XP during that game, which is quite a bit considering this was a tier 8 game of domination. And actually I think it was a tier 9 game because there were Azumos in there. So yeah, we actually spread around a lot of damage to all different kinds of ships, which is not surprising. And we actually got about 80,000 from the HE there, and then another 40,000 from the armor piercing. But the Belfast, man, it's a great ship. If it ever goes on sale again, you should definitely buy it. But it's a great money maker, and it definitely didn't disappoint me in this game. But anyways, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more.